We often hear about the wealth of countries like the United States, Germany, or Japan, but how did they actually become rich? It's a fascinating journey that combines history, innovation, and sometimes a bit of luck. Let's start with the Industrial Revolution in the late 18th century. This was a game changer. Countries that embraced industrialization, like Britain, saw a massive shift from agrarian economies to manufacturing powerhouses. Factories sprang up, and with them came jobs, urbanization, and a surge in productivity. This wasn't just about machines, it was about harnessing new energy sources like coal and steam, which allowed for unprecedented growth. But it wasn't just about industry. Rich countries invested heavily in education. They understood that a well-educated workforce was essential for innovation. Take the United States, for example. The establishment of public schooling in the 19th century laid the groundwork for a society that valued knowledge and skills. This investment in human capital created a generation of thinkers, inventors, and entrepreneurs who would drive economic growth. Speaking of innovation, let's not forget the role of technology. The invention of the telegraph, the telephone, and later the internet transformed communication and commerce. Countries that adapted to these changes quickly reaped the benefits. Silicon Valley is a prime example of how a culture of innovation, supported by venture capital and a willingness to take risks, can lead to immense wealth creation. Another critical factor is access to resources. Countries rich in natural resources, like oil or minerals, often found themselves with a head start. However, it's not just about having resources, it's about how they're managed. Norway, for instance, took its oil wealth and invested it wisely, creating a sovereign wealth fund that benefits future generations. On the flip side, countries that mismanage their resources can fall into the resource curse, where wealth leads to corruption and inequality. Trade also plays a pivotal role. Countries that opened their markets and engaged in international trade often saw their economies flourish. The post-World War II era is a perfect example. Nations that embraced free trade agreements and globalization found new markets for their goods, leading to economic expansion. Let's not overlook the importance of political stability and institutions. Countries with strong legal systems, property rights, and transparent governance tend to attract investment. Investors want to know their money is safe. Countries like Singapore and Switzerland have thrived because they created environments where businesses could flourish without the fear of arbitrary government intervention. Lastly, let's talk about social factors. Societies that promote equality and inclusivity tend to be more prosperous. When everyone has a fair shot at success, economies grow. The Nordic countries are often cited as examples where social welfare systems support a strong economy, proving that wealth can be shared without stifling growth. So, how did rich countries become rich? It's a complex interplay of industrialization, education, innovation, resource management, trade, political stability, and social equity. Each country's journey is unique, but the common thread is a commitment to progress and adaptation. Understanding this history not only sheds light on the present, but also offers valuable lessons for the future.